Dumbling is your boy in Welcome Commentary Show. So doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 11th September 2025. This is talking about something that happened yesterday. So this is a bad video. This is a bad news. We literally had somebody, Charlie Kirk, get shot. Now, before we start the video, I just want to express my sympathy, my condolences to the family. Listen, I did not listen to Charlie Kirk. I did not watch his videos. I didn't know what he stands for. I saw a couple of clips here and there. But as a debater, I prefer Jordan Peterson. However, which is very sad to say, but the 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 most aware of Charlie Kirk was thanks to South Park and Cartman becoming Charlie Kirk. Um, and I want to talk about a couple of things because again, it feels weird for me to talk about somebody that I didn't know. Talk about the death of somebody that I didn't know. Mourn somebody that died that I didn't know, and it feels weird, right? But there's a couple of reasons for that, right? So first of all, we lost somebody. We lost somebody that was possibly on the wrong side of things. You possibly didn't agree with it, but from what I understand, Charlie Kirk was standing against the freedom of speech, the liberty of talking, the liberty of saying things out loud, the liberty of having your own opinion, the liberty of expressing that opinion, the liberty of having debates that are non-violent but debates. And he literally got shot, right? Now this is the first part. The second part, you can dislike the character, you can dislike Charlie Kirk, right? But at the same time, even though he had ideas that you might not agree with, he was a good man. In my opinion, a good man is what? A good man is a father, as a good father, a loving husband. Because when you're a good father and you're a loving husband, you kind of won at life. Fuck fame, fuck fortune. You have kids that love you, that call you dad, and you're a good father. You know in your heart that you're a good father. Doesn't matter what other people think about you. When you're home, you're the father, right? The wife who stayed with him. So you must be doing something right, right? And it's a shame because they are the people suffering the most today, and that's kind of nuts. I followed a little bit, like for example, I know that Dean was really against him. So Dean is a TikToker. So I listen. What I know, I don't know much. This is really sad. This is really sad. From I don't know much, right? But Dean was a TikToker, and I don't. Again, it's a question of who do you prefer? Do you prefer Dean or Charlie Kirk? I didn't know both of them. So I come in and I watch TikTok and I watch the first video that I saw is Dean. And Dean got really popular by doing debates, but his rise to fame is outbreak, if you will, is a debate versus Charlie Kirk, right? And the stratosphere of debates, there's possibly three people, in my opinion, that are the people that even I know, even I don't watch that. Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, Charlie Kirk, right? But Charlie was going to the campus and literally talking, right? And of course, there's funny moments, right? But there was some good talks. What I found sad is, again, I want to maintain that you can disagree with a person, right? And I feel the need to justify myself. I need to feel the need to say, hey, I didn't listen to the guy, so am I? But at the same time, I didn't listen to the guy. But do I think that there's nothing in his life that he said that I kind of agree with? No. There's possibly things that he said that I disagree with. There's possibly something that he said that I agree with, right? I would find it hard to find a person that's completely opposite to you in terms of ideology. So this is cool. We had two ads of the tech tree. You're gonna see me looking here. I'm not looking at notes. I'm looking at the game because we're playing a game and it's early stage, so could pay attention to it. What I find disgusting is the amount of people that were rejoicing over his death. And the reason why I was talking about Dean didn't like. It's sad. Didn't like Charles. And he was the first one. I call him Charlie. He was the first one to make a video and post it, and he was crying and said, you know what? He didn't deserve death, you know? I saw people rejoicing about how he's dead. I saw people saying, hey, I'm French Canadian, so this is American. I had TV that were kind of rejoicing after the guy that's deaf. What is going on with this world, And it broke my heart. Even in a case where I disliked Charlie, even if in a case where I knew what he was doing and I was against him, and I was like, oh, the guy's a piece of shit. I didn't want him dead. I didn't want people dead, You shouldn't want somebody dead, The whole principle of justice is that everybody has a chance to defend themselves. Why are we bringing justice in, right? Well, if somebody's doing something wrong, they should be brought to justice. And if they're being brought to justice, they could be given a fair trial. And a fair trial does what? A fair trial does three things: prove that you're innocent, prove that you're guilty, or give you a fair chance. When you kill somebody, you don't give them a fair chance, right? You don't give them a fair chance. When you celebrate somebody's death because you disagree with them, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. We're not the gladiator where it's a slave that gets killed because people decide to turn their thumbs down. It's a human being that It's a human being that was a father, that was a husband. People celebrating his death is disgusting. Is disgusting. But disgusting. And you gotta ask yourself, how would you feel if somebody that you care about, somebody that you see as a positive force in the world, would get killed and people celebrated it? Even in the principle of it, freedom of speech should be maintained. I could be telling you right now, right? The sky is purple. And I'm going to be looking like the biggest dumbass ever. But that's what I wanted to say. I want to say that. If the discourse that you're having this, if the discourse in French, I'm sorry, discours. If the speech that you're having, if the mentality, the mindset that you're having is putting everybody in danger, for example, a Second World leader, if it's putting a lot of people in danger, then yes, you should be stopped. Yes, you should be brought to justice. But again, not killed, brought to justice. There's this guy. I was on Twitter. I was watching Korn on Twitter, and there's this guy who I think he stabbed a girl in a subway, right? And this guy, and this is sad because people are making it a race thing, which is not a race thing, but the guy was convicted and walked free 18 times. So then, you guys are stupid. You're letting a person that shows that they're recidivists. They're showing that they're willing to do some bad act again and again. You're showing that they don't learn the lesson, and you're letting them walk free, right? This is bad. And again, justice should be done. I don't know what his discourse was. I don't know what he was saying, Charlie Kirk. But if it was that bad, people would have stopped him. People would have said, "Hey, justice for defamation, for slandering." I'm speaking in French today. I don't know why. Slandering, for hate speech, for hateful propaganda, for misinformation. It's a crime, But he was never convicted. And I think we're focusing on that too much. We should be focusing on people rejoicing of his death. Shame on you. Shame on you. It could be anyone. It's such a bad thing. See, of course, you can understand like a kid, right? A kid that when he was young, he was suffering a lot of sexual abuse from a family member or a parent, right? And the parent died, and they kind of rejoice in the fact that he's not going to be able to hurt anybody left anymore. You kind of rejoice there. But you take a monster, you take a person that does a horrible thing, you compare it to somebody that had a different mindset than you, that had a different speech than you, that stood for things that you don't stand for, that stood for things that you thought was not great, and you're rejoicing, and this is disgusting. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here because I'm going around in circle, but it's just mesmerizing. It's the first time in my life that I'm seeing. Oh, okay, that's not true. It's one of the first time in my life where I'm seeing people rejoicing about somebody's death, right? The first time was Osama bin Laden. I'm 32 years old, so yeah. And people in the street were celebrating his death, which was kind of nuts. you know. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the video here. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Again, my condolences, my sympathy to the family. It's a sad thing today.